Alright guys, we're just going to get right into it, and for the sake of time, we're just going to go through these books fairly quickly. Today we're going to be focusing mostly on Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button and hope you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'm going to be releasing a lot more content, and comment in the video which is your favorite Spider-Man book. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Most of these books are going to be in chronological order, starting from the newest book, the newest key. Most of these are going to be keys. So first up is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 361. This is the first appearance of Carnage. Great looking book. This has been one of my favorite covers since I was a kid. I grew up collecting in the 90s, so this is always going to be one of my favorite books. Just an awesome, iconic cover by Mark Bagley. And next up is going to be Marvel Team Up number 141. This is considered one of the first appearances of the black suit. This, as well as a great cover. This one is Copper Age. This isn't a newsstand. Not sure if it's more rare than the direct edition. I don't worry about too much about that, but just a great looking purple cover. One of the first Spidey suits. Next up on the list is Secret Wars number 8. This is a very high grade copy. Got this a little while back at my LCS. Thinking about getting it slabbed. It has potential of hitting a 9.8. But this is the first appearance of the symbiote, which eventually attaches to Peter Parker, becoming the black suit. And just a great iconic cover. Always love this one. Next up on the list, also on the black suit train, is Amazing Spider-Man number 252. Also considered first appearance of the black suit. Not too familiar on which one is the first appearance. I believe this one is the first appearance of the black suit, and Secret Wars 8 is considered the first appearance of the symbiote. And this one is a Amazing Fantasy 15 homage. Just a great cover. Not super high grade, but still glad to have this copy in the collection. This book has been going up quite a bit, so I'm glad I got it for a good price when I did. So we are shooting over to earlier. I think this is considered like late bronze. This is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 194. This is the first appearance of the Black Cat. This one has always been one of my books I've had on my want list. Never could find it for a decent price, but I was able to find it raw. This one I would consider it about a 6.0 to 7.0 range. Great cover. Hard to find in high grade because of the black cover, but just a great character. Can't wait to see what the MCU does with the Black Cat. Next up on the list is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 135. There is some controversy whether this is the second appearance of the Punisher. I consider it the second appearance of the Punisher because this is just a great cover. He's on the cover as well, and I've always liked this cover. This is a pretty decently high grade as well. But yeah, just a nice key, very affordable as well. So the next book on the list, you guys probably guessed it. It's a big one. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. First appearance of the Punisher, Frank Castle. This one is a great looking copy. I was able to get it a couple years ago for a really good price. And this one is graded CGC 7.5 with white pages. One of the nicest presenting 7.5s I've seen. The colors on this is extremely bright, and it presents very well for 7.5. I think because of the back, there's a little tear on the back that brought it down to a 7.5. But other than that, this is just an iconic book. Can't wait to see what the MCU does with the Punisher. It's gonna be, this book hasn't even seen its peak yet, in my opinion. So great book to have, and I'm super grateful to have it. And the next one is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 122, which is The Death of Green Goblin. This one is a great cover. This one, along with Amazing Spider-Man 121, The Death of Gwen Stacy, go very well together. Unfortunately, I don't have Amazing Spider-Man 121, but I do. I'm happy that I was able to pick up this one out in the wild. I've always liked this cover, and just a great book to have. Okay, so the next one on the list is a pretty big one. It is going to be, so we're going to jump all the way over to Silver Age, and this is the first Silver Age on the list for Amazing Spider-Man. Is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 50. This is an iconic book. It is the first appearance of the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, and just an iconic cover. This one I got fairly early when I came back to the hobby. Fairly low grade, 3.0, but still very stunning colors on it. The red just pops on this cover, so I'm super happy to have this one. Okay, let's take that one off. And the next one on the list is going to be, so I have a mix, with my keys I have a mix of both raw and graded. So this one is a raw copy, fairly nice copy too. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 46, first appearance of the Shocker. I feel like this still has a lot of room. It's undervalued a bit, even though we've had the Shocker in one of the Spider-Man movies. I feel like they can still do a lot with the Shocker, so this could potentially be a good one to pick up as well. But just a great cover, a great book to have, Silver Age key. Okay, so let's take that one off. And the next book on the list is going to be, just love this one. This one is Amazing Spider-Man number 41, first appearance of Rhino. And this one is graded CGC 3.5 with off-white to white pages. I used to have this book in the same exact grade. I sold it, and I felt like I had to have it back in my collection. It was really hard to find it for a good price, but eventually I got a pretty decent price on it, so I picked up the same grade. This one I feel like the colors actually pop a little bit more than my old copy, so I'm really grateful to have it back. And yeah, just a classic cover for a classic villain. And yeah, we haven't even seen this villain in the movies yet, but this is still a very highly sought after book. Okay, so put that one down, and then the next one up is going to be, this is not a first appearance or any significance, but it is a classic cover by Steve Ditko. Amazing Spider-Man number 33. This one I mean, along with a lot of other people, I just love how striking this cover is. And yeah, again, there's no first appearance, but it's just it's considered a key because it is a classic cover. So that's a great one to have. Okay. So the next one up is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 31. This is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. This one, I feel like it doesn't get a lot of credit. This one, maybe because of the cover, some people don't like the cover on this book, but I personally like it. I like the reds. I like that it's different. There's a symbol of the spider on there with pictures between the legs. So I like the different style that Steve Ditko did here. And plus this copy is has very deep colors, so it really stands out to me. This one's graded 4.0, and I feel like this one still has a lot of room to grow as well. One of those Amazing Spider-Man books that is a key issue. It has two huge characters, Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. However, it's not that expensive, so it's still fairly affordable. Okay, so the next book up is Amazing Spider-Man number 29. This is the second appearance of the Scorpion, and I personally like this cover, and you'll see the other cover, first appearance of Scorpion, but I personally like this cover more than the first appearance. I like the use of, I just love water covers for Spider-Man keys, and this is no exception. This is just a great cover. They're fighting underwater, and yeah, this one to me is just a beautiful, beautiful cover here. Yeah, so nice grade, 4.5 for Silver Age key. Okay, so the next one up, another affordable key, first appearance of Molten Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 28. Lower grade, this one is very tough to find, very high grade, but I still like the cover. Same thing, it's different style, but yeah, nice key to have at an affordable price. Okay, so that was number 28. And we are going to be going to the big ones now. So this is the next book that I have. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 20. This is the first appearance of the Scorpion, and this one is a lower grade 2.0, but the front cover still presents really, really nice. The reason it is a 2.0 is because it is completely split at the spine and brought down to 2.0, but presents still very, very nicely. Okay. Okay, next on the list is going to be, I'm trying to work on my Spider-Man run, Amazing Spider-Man run 1 through 20, and comment down in the comment section which issues can you notice that I'm missing from the 1 through 20. So let's see if you guys can guess which ones I'm missing. The next one up is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 18. This is the first appearance of Ned Leeds, and this, in my opinion, this one is a nice cover. I like the colors, the way the blues kind of blend into each other, and just in my opinion, this one is also underrated as well because pretty big character in Ned Leeds. He eventually becomes the Hobgoblin, so nice book to have. This is a very nice presenting 3.5 as well, and yeah, just a great key to have here. All right, next book up is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 17. This is the second appearance of the Green Goblin, and this is just a great cover. I've always loved this cover. Action-packed cover with the Human Torch on the cover as well. This is a CGC 3.5 with off-white to white pages, but looks to me like this is much better than a 3.5. Don't see too many issues with this, but hey, what are you gonna do? I feel like it's undergraded, but this is a great book, great key to have at a decently affordable price as well. Okay, so the next book up is Amazing Spider-Man number 16. First time that the Daredevil and Spider-Man meet. This is a 2.5 off-white pages, lower grade copy. Still presents well though, and just a great book to have with Daredevil still in his yellow suit. So early Daredevil and early Spider-Man crossover. Great book. We're getting into some heavy hitters now, and continuing on the list is Amazing Spider-Man number 15. This is the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter, and this is just a classic cover. This one is graded a CGC 3.5, and the reason it got a lower grade because the centerfold is detached. However, with the presentation of this 3.5, it looks absolutely awesome, and Kraven the Hunter is inevitable to be in the MCU. I feel like with the Sinister Six looming and going to be making their debut. Kraven the Hunter is going to be just a huge character. This book has spiked a little bit recently, but still a great key to pick up if you still can. So highly recommend this book. And the next one up is one of my favorite villains of the Spider-Man universe. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. Just a fantastic, iconic cover, and one of the best villains, in my opinion, for the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery. This is just a great cover with Green Goblin right on the front. One of my favorite books when I came back to the hobby to get. This has always been a pricey book, very highly sought out, in high demand, so pushes the price quite a bit. There was a time period where you can get this at a fairly affordable rate, but in a 4.0, I think it's approaching about $2,000 now, pretty close to there. So when I got this book raw and graded it and came back at 4.0, I was super happy. It's one of my favorite books for Spider-Man in my collection. Okay, so the hits keep coming. The next one is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 13, first appearance of Mysterio. This one is graded CGC 3.0. This one is also a big key, with Mysterio also being in the Sinister Six, with Mysterio just making an appearance in Spider-Man Far From Home. This character has become a highly popular recently because of the movie, and I still feel like the character is going to make many more appearances, especially if they're going to make a Sinister Six movie. There's no question that this book is still going to be highly sought after, and with many more appearances coming up for the Sinister Six, I believe this book still has room to grow. Okay. So the next two go together. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 12, and this is the third appearance of Dr. Octopus, and this one is a nice yellow cover, pops very well. Great book to have as part of your 1 to 20 run, so pretty happy to have this one. Okay, and along with that is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 11. This is the second appearance of Dr. Octopus, and this one is also matching grade at a 4.0. Nice yellow covers on that one as well. So we are now on single digits on Amazing Spider-Man top keys in my collection, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see additional content that I'll be releasing. So next up on the list, I'm getting super excited for these keys. These are some of my favorite books in my entire collection. Next book up is Amazing Spider-Man number 9, first appearance of Electro. This book has gone absolutely crazy. Some of the values on these books now have gone through the roof. Glad I got it at a decent price a couple of years ago, and I got this one raw and graded, and got it graded, and it came back at 3.0 with off-white to white pages. Just a great cover. All of these first appearance of villains have great covers on them. I think that's probably why it's so tough to find these books at a good price, just because Amazing Spider-Man collectors are just, they're intense. It's hard for them to let some of these go. I understand completely. It would be very tough for me to let any of my top Spider-Man books go, and this is one of them. Amazing Spider-Man number 9, first Electro, just a great book. And next up on the list, not a huge key, but it is single digit Spider-Man. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 8, first appearance of the Living Brain, and it has a Fantastic Four appearance as well in this, and a Human Torch right on the cover. And this one's a fairly low copy. I got this at a really good price. This was When I got this copy, it was one of my earliest Spider-Man books, so I still feel like it has a good significance in my collection just because this when I got this, I was just like blown away. I was like, wow, I have an issue in the top 10 of Amazing Spider-Man. That's pretty awesome. And it kind of gave me that motivation to go for 1 through 20, which not completely yet. So if you guys have been following, keep track of what I don't have, and if you can comment in the comments which books you noticed that I don't have yet. So this is a good book to have. Nice yellow cover. All right, next up on the list is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 7. This is second appearance of the Vulture. It is graded CBCS 4.0. Always like this cover as well. This is just a classic cover, and even with second appearances of these villains, they're pretty high value. And again, early Spider-Man number 7 overall. Just a great book to have for the run, and I'm glad I was able to pick this up at a pretty good price. Okay, so getting some of these really nice top Spider-Man keys. This one is Amazing Spider-Man number 6, first appearance of the Lizard, and this is graded CGC 4.5. If you guys remember my recent unboxing, this was graded a CGC 3.5 with an older generation CGC case. Had this cracked out, cleaned and pressed, and it got a full grade bump. Went from a 3.5 to a 4.5. Super happy about it. And I just love this cover. It has a unique color scheme to it. It has the purple and the pink lettering. I think it's pink. Pretty sure it's pink lettering. And sometimes it seems faded, but this one, the colors really pop on this one. So very important villain. I feel still has not shown up in the MCU or yet. So has a lot of legs on this book, and I think the price of this book is starting to go up quite a bit as well. Just a super nice key to have if you're a Spider-Man fan. All right. Getting super close, guys. Just a few more books left. This is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 5. This is the first Doctor Doom appearance outside the Fantastic Four. This one is an older generation label for CGC. It is graded at a 4.5. Super sharp colors on this one. Very deep reds. And I just love Doctor Doom covers. This is one of them. Some people feel like they don't like this cover as much. I really like this cover. Very classic, iconic Spider-Man cover. Not a huge significance besides that it's a Doctor Doom crossover, but still one of the big keys I have for Spider-Man. So I really like this one. All right, and here we go with the next Amazing Spider-Man book, and this is a big one. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This was a recent pickup for me. This was well, let me talk about the book. It's first appearance of the Sandman, and this is graded a CGC 4.0 with off-white pages. Originally, I bought this book as a PGX 4.0. It was not cleaned or pressed, so had it cleaned and pressed, and it came back same grade 4.0 CGC, and I'm just super happy to get this copy. I still love the colors on it. It presents super well for a 4.0, and just a huge key in the Spider-Man series. I like the panel design because it's unique. It has panels on the cover, just kind of like a cool banter between Spider-Man and Sandman. So pretty awesome, and I love this key. All right, guys, we are down to the biggest key books of my collection. This next one is a huge book for me, one of my mega keys in my collection. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 1. First time Spider-Man is in his own series, as well as the first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson, and first Fantastic Four crossover. Also, the origin of Spider-Man retold. This is just a beautiful looking copy. It the colors just pop on it. For 2.5 off-white pages, I feel like this was a bit undergraded in my opinion. It has not been pressed or cleaned, but I don't think I'm gonna crack it out for resubmission just because I feel like I'm happy with the grade that it's in. Just the significance of this book and how tough it is to find a copy. Um, Really, when I picked up this book, I didn't really know how hard it is to acquire one. But now that I've had it for a while, and just as an overall Spider-Man fan, it has huge significance to me. It's not even the first appearance, but I feel like it's one of those keys that just takes your collection to the next level. Um, and yeah, I really just love this book so much. I love the story of this, the stories that are in this book as well. I read the stories before I picked up this book, and I always felt like Silver Age stories for Spider-Man are decent, but in my opinion, this is one of my favorite stories overall for Spider-Man, by Stan Lee. So great. Jack Kirby art and Steve Ditko art on the inside, and Jack Kirby cover, and just a mega key that I feel like it's going to be really tough to let go. So yeah, that's second to last book, and you guys know it's coming. If you guys have followed my channel for a little while now, you know that this is my grail of my collection, and this is going to be Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of Spider-Man Peter Parker. It's also the first appearance of Uncle Ben and Aunt May. This is graded a CGC 3.0 cream to off-white pages, and this came out in August of 1962. This copy is, well, let's talk about this copy. It has a little bit chipping on the right hand side, as you can see. For those of you that don't know, Marvel chipping is a manufacturer's defect. I don't really know the history on why these books had Marvel chipping. From my understanding, from what I've researched, is when they were cutting these books, the blades were dull, so they ended up, and the paper, with the paper quality as well, the combination of both, the edges of the comic book would start chipping, and that's why you see that on the right hand side there. But other than the chipping, overall presentation of this book is absolutely stunning. The colors on this is one of the nicest colors I've seen for low grade. Honestly, I've seen a lot of copies in low grade, but you can see the blues on the suit as well as the reds. They just pop. A lot of these books were not bagged and boarded back in the day, so there's a lot of tanning or discoloration from the fading from being out in the sun, or just exposure to the elements. But this one, the colors just stayed very, very nice, especially on the Spider-Man area. The edges of the book, of course, have a little bit of staining and discoloration. Like in the title, there's a little bit of like tanning or browning. But other than that, it's very, very nice presenting copy. One of my true top mega keys of my collection when I acquired this book, and you guys can check out the unboxing. It's just one of my favorite videos on my channel because of how raw my reaction is. If you guys haven't checked it out, please click on, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description as well as on this section of the video, just so you guys can check it out. It's just an amazing experience that I was able to share with the community, and it's gotten a lot of feedback. But yeah, that is the biggest key of Spider-Man in my collection. When you acquire something of this caliber, it still doesn't fully sink in. Sometimes you don't realize it. I wouldn't even realize how important it is to me until I no longer have it. Let's say if I were to sell it, I wouldn't know how to feel until it's actually away from my collection, because right now I feel like I've had it for like around almost a year now, and it's still unbelievable to me because I used to see it in pictures, and you're like, wow, that's something that I'll probably never have because I can only see it in like a museum or in like a huge con in glass cases, But but to be able to fund it from my own, buying and selling from my own existing collection when I was doing that, and to be able to consolidate to one book, which was how I acquired this one. It's something that I always try to recommend to other collectors so that they can ultimately have the biggest goal that they can acquire, to shoot for that biggest goal. So this was one of those moments where my collecting game stepped up. So those are my Amazing Spider-Man keys of my collection. I felt like this was a great time to go over all of my keys because I've never done a video with all the keys in one video, so I thought it'd be cool. If you guys haven't subscribed to me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and click the like button, as well as comment down below which keys do you see that I was missing. Let's see if you guys get it right. But I want to thank you for joining me here on Comics with Vonix. And as always, collect your passion, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.